Hi, my name's Trent. I'm 25. I work in software sales and I spend a lot of my time thinking about money. How do I make more money? How do I get my money to work for me most effectively, like investing in the stock market? And ultimately, the purpose of this video is to help you get your money right. Most of you who are guys can probably relate to this. We have arbitrary milestones we want to reach in life, such as I want to have $1 million net worth by age 30. I want to be promoted by XYZ and buy rental property by 31, whatever it may be. I'm struggling with those concerns as well, and I think a lot of you can relate to this. And in this video, I wanted to talk about some of the common reasons why I and those around me are worried or concerned about money, and then how to overcome them. Stick around until the end of the video, and I'm going to share this really interesting graph with you talking about how much wealth, aka investable assets, do you actually need to be in the top 1%? Not just the top 1%, but broken down of the top 1% of the top 1%. It's really interesting, and I learned it this morning, so I think you're really gonna like it as well. If you're striving to get your money right, make more money, and just get your finances in a positive position, make sure to like this video below and subscribe to the channel. That's a journey I'm on in my own life right now. I'm not necessarily FIRE, I'm not trying to retire early. I'm simply just trying to get my money in a great place so that I can have a fantastic life, support those around me, and ultimately not have to worry about money. And that gets me to the number one reason why people worry about money is because they're fearful that they will lose their ability to produce in the future. Whatever you're doing right now, so many of you who watch this channel are in sales, whether you're in sales, finance, whether you're trying to find a job, everyone has income that they make. You make $5,000 a month, whatever it may be. Everyone has expenses. You have rent, you have to support your lifestyle, entertainment, you have to pay for food, water, resources to keep you alive. Everyone's making money and everyone's spending money. And the thought of losing your ability to produce income is concerning, because if you don't have income and you can't support your lifestyle, your options are either move in with friends, family, or become homeless. And the thought of your lifestyle exceeding your income is scary, because you physically wouldn't be able to sustain your life and produce. And a lot of people think that, oh, if I buy a house, I won't be able to continue to make my mortgage payments, or, oh, if I have a family, all of a sudden my expenses just went up. So the thought of not being able to produce is incredibly scary. And the way I try and overcome this natural fear is by mastering a skill that is valued in the marketplace that allows me to continuously produce now and into the future. What do I mean by that? The reason I got into software sales is not just because it pays really well. And I recently made a video talking about my software sales salary explained. So go check that out after that if you're interested in software sales pay. The skill of sales is a craft that can be mastered, that's been done for hundreds of years, and will always be valued in the marketplace. If I were to lose my job tomorrow, if I were to lose all of my money tomorrow, that's incredibly concerning to think about. But I wouldn't necessarily feel like I'm starting back at zero, because I know how to sell. And sales is a skill that's valued in the marketplace that allows me to produce. So I know tomorrow, if I were to have to leave my company, I could go to another company, or I could start my own thing, because I know how to sell. I have the skills of cold calling, prospecting, lead generation, building value, and closing the deal. I have those skills, so I know that I can then go apply that to any other area of life. And that's why so many of these entrepreneurs you hear from say, if I lose everything tomorrow, it doesn't matter, because I know how to fish. And the purpose of this video is to teach you how to fish. So whatever your skill may be, whether it's sales or something else, figure out, what are you good at? What do you like? And how valuable is that in the marketplace? Because if you can master that skill, then you're essentially guaranteeing your ability to produce now and into the future. And by having confidence in yourself for that skill, talent, whatever it may be, you'll hopefully be less worried about money, because it doesn't necessarily matter, because you always can then go substitute whatever your income is here today. The number two reason why people are worried or concerned about money, based on my estimation, so keep in mind, I make YouTube videos each and every day. I'm not on social media though. I used to be on Instagram, I used to be on Snapchat, And there's so much virtue signaling going on. People love to post videos of them at concerts. People love to post videos of their new cars or houses or clothes that they buy. It's all virtue signaling. It's to impress other people. And this is one of the key areas that I think people get wrong when it comes to money. And I'm not saying I'm a master by any means, but it's spending more than you earn. And I'm not saying spending so much that you go into credit card debt and you have to pay off all this extreme interest and then you're pretty much just in a hole and screwed. I'm talking about spending more money than you should, which is limiting your ability to save, because it doesn't matter how much money you make, although that's important. What's more important and impactful to your financial future is how much of that money do you actually keep. So for example, if person A is earning $400,000 but only saving 10% of their income, $40,000 a year, meanwhile person B is making $100,000 a year but they save 80% of their income, that's $80,000 versus $40,000. Person B is going to be able to save more money at a more rapid rate. And when you take into account your expenses, let's say they're $10,000 a year, all you need to have saved is $300,000 a year. That's 30x, 10K, to be able to sustain your life for 30 years. So your ability to save and retain money is essentially buying you more life and years on the back end of time you can spend in retirement, opposed to not having to worrying about producing. So key takeaway here is I'm not worried about impressing other people. I don't have a super nice car. I don't have a nice apartment. I don't have nice clothes. I haven't bought new clothes in years. I just wear the same clothes I wore in high school. So maybe that impacts my ability to produce more. But ultimately, I'm focused more about how do I save more money, and then how do I use that saved money to make me more money. I'm focused on multiplying my money, not just making more money, but what do I do with that money I make, and how do I maximize my ability to save. So the two key takeaways there are, in order to eliminate that fear of not being able to produce, figure out a skill that's valued in the marketplace, get really good at it, and then start to build your life around that and do more of that, because you'll always be able to produce and earn more income. And then secondly, don't worry about virtue signaling. You don't need to buy that super nice house. You don't need to buy that new car. None of that matters, because you don't need to impress the Joneses. All that matters is how much money do you have, what does your lifestyle cost, and then how long until you'll have enough money to be able to cover and sustain that. That's really, in my estimation, the fundamentals of personal finance. And then when we think about forecasting ahead in a dream financial future, I want to have a lot of money. I want to be mega wealthy. So today I was researching how much assets do you need to be in the top 1%. And a key clarification here is we're not talking about income. We're not talking about how much money you need to make per year to be in the top 1%. We're talking how much money do you have that's investable cash. AKA, can you go into the bank account today and spend XYZ amount of money that I'm about to talk about now? Doesn't matter how much you make, it's all about how much you retain, and then what do you do with that money? And a lot of people think about money and they're fearful of it. Money is just a medium of exchange. It's the ability to translate this currency into resources like assets to keep you alive, or labor to help you generate more money, or whatever it may be. It's all about wealth. Wealth is money that is making you more money, such as owning real estate. If you have $1 million in real estate, that's gonna hopefully cash flow. If you have $1 million and you put it in the stock market, that's gonna generate you more money. So how much wealth do you need to be in the top 1%? Looking at this graph right here, it's a pyramid. The bottom level of the pyramid, let me make sure I get the names right here. The bottom level of the pyramid is the high net worth individuals. The next level of the pyramid is very high net worth individuals. The next layer, the third layer up, is the ultra wealthy. And then the top layer is the billionaires. So when we unpack this pyramid, the bottom layer, to be essentially in the top 1% of Americans, by the way, American wealth, is you need to have between $1 million and $5 million in investable assets. When you hear that number, what do you think? Does that sound out of reach? Does that sound, okay, if I just save $15,000 a year for 30 years, okay, I'm pretty much there. I'm already at $1 million. So it's actually super attainable for everyone. It's all about just focusing on how do you minimize your expenses and then save more? How do you make more and save more? That's really all that matters. You don't need crazy returns. And an interesting breakdown of this is that 1 in 69 people have $1 to $5 million in investable assets. So when you think about that, it's actually not that out of reach. It's not that unattainable. When we start to get to the next level of very high net worth individuals, you need between $5 million and $30 million of investable assets. 1 in 338 people in America are at this threshold. That's about 0.3% of the population in America. So if you walk into a room, if you go back and look at your high school graduating class, mine was around 400. If you have 7 million, that means you're most likely the richest person in the room. This is when we're starting to get to levels of, okay, if I had $10 million, I could pretty much retire for the rest of my life and you would be good. So very high net worth, you need between 5 million and 30 million. The next level, which is essentially the ultra wealthy in America, you need between $30 million and $1 billion in investable assets. Now we're starting to talk really big numbers. 1 in 3,083 people are at this threshold. It's about 0.07%. If you could reach this level, you've made it. Realistically, the only way you can reach that level is by being a business owner or becoming a high-ranking executive in a public company, or inherit a bunch of money. You really need to make some things happen to reach that level. And then finally, the top of the pyramid, $1 billion. Billionaires, we know about that. 1 in 468,000 people. We're talking astronomical, really amounts of wealth. Not many people get there. But ultimately, that's the pyramid. That's the pyramid. What do you guys think about that? How much investable assets do you have? And then what is your goal? Do you have a goal for investable assets? Because if you don't know where you're at today and you don't know what you're working towards, then it's going to be harder to get to an outcome that actually best serves what you want and expect in life. Something I was raised knowing is that you can have as much or as little as you want in life. It's really up to you to go make it happen. If you believe you're the master of your fate, that you control your own destiny, you absolutely can land at any place in this pyramid. It's all about what do you want, what are you willing to give up to go get that? And the purpose of videos like this is to help you get your money right and recognize what are some of the common pitfalls, how do you overcome them, and then how do we continuously just keep getting better and expect more of ourselves, those around us, and ultimately build a life that we're happy about, that we can do what we want, when we want, with whoever we want. It's all about being happy at the end of the day. You don't need that much money to be happy. But I like talking about money, and it's something I'm focused on in my own life. As I said at the beginning of the video, I research a lot about how do I make more money and how do I get my money to work for me. So if you enjoyed this video here today, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, let me know in the comments down below, do you resonate with this? Does this seem out of touch? Does this seem possible? What are you worried about when it comes to money? And if I can help you in any way, just drop me a question, drop me a thought, and I'll absolutely read it and get back to you. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.